on makeup if I knew I was being photographed.
Hey, ew, gross.
We all know a few things that can get underneath our skin or just rub us the wrong way. My dad being the best example I can think of, but that's his job. I'm sure for most of us, just coming here to listen to my speech is getting very old very fast. But I really appreciate you guys for doing it. For the most part, I find that these pet peeves usually relate to someone's habits or some type of action that quietly drives us a little closer to the deep end with every encounter. I think of myself as being an understanding person for the most part, but I have several pet peeves that I'm quite adamant about keeping myself away from. One of my biggest pet peeves, which I know probably all of you will relate to, is sitting in traffic. There is no such thing as fun traffic, but the worst of the worst is when you are sitting in your car, barely moving, only to find out that there was no accident, no merging of lanes, but simply one selfish driver's ignorant decision to slow down to a crawl so they can get a good look at whatever it is that caught their eye. What they apparently have forgotten to realize is that when they just have to slow down to get a glimpse of a deer running into the woods, traffic is now backed up for over a mile. Way to go, driver. Being from Cape Cod, we can all appreciate this a little more than most people. Because as we all know, when it comes summertime, our roads are flooded with tourists who apparently just learned how to drive before they decided to come down and take on the seemingly impossible task of driving around a rotary clean without ruining everyone else's day. I can understand traffic caused from an accident, and even though it is still frustrating, I'm more concerned that everybody involved is okay. But Lord Almighty, if I could have my choice of words with the stop for no reason drivers, I can guarantee that my mother would not be very happy with me. Another big pet peeve of mine, which is when someone talks on the phone while I'm around. Now, it's one thing if you are expecting an important call from your parents or your boss, or you were able to just keep it brief. But when someone drags on a conversation over the phone while in front of company, it drives me crazy. My mother has experienced my feelings towards this many, many times. And she has come to the point where she will leave the room or simply say she cannot talk while we are together. There's one recent incident in mind. Me and a teammate had gone out to dinner. From the time we had sat down to the time the checker came, he was on the phone with his friend. And it drove me crazy, and I wanted to just smash the phone on the ground. And I looked around and I noticed everybody around us clearly had the same feelings that I did. Now apparently this must have been the most important person in the world. You know, why else would he be talking the entire time while with a friend at dinner, surrounded by people in a public restaurant, disturbing their dinner and disturbing their conversations with the company they came with. If you really need to talk on the phone, just stand up and walk outside, or mosey your way away from the group. No one wants to hear you telling your buddy about how crazy your weekend was, and God knows I have zero interest in you telling your boyfriend or girlfriend about how you're the one that misses them the most, or squeak out every corny pet name that has ever been created. My last pet peeve I feel should be covered is our younger generation's complete dependency on technology. Don't get me wrong, I love how the modern technology has simplified my life in many ways, and I am no exception to the fact because I rely on my phone for just about everything, even recording this speech. If by some chance I don't have my phone on me, I feel almost naked and out of touch with the rest of the world. It's sad, I know. Communicating has turned into texting 6 letters that somehow make up a whole sentence or phrase. I really don't like that. I never seem to understand it and have trouble deciphering what they mean. On a different occasion, while out to eat with some friends, we were placed next to a large group containing several small children, around 6 or 7. I was amazed with how well behaved these kids were, because to tell you the truth, when I was their age, I was a nightmare at restaurants. Then I saw why they were showing up the younger me, and I couldn't believe it. Every one of these children had their own iPad sitting on the table, and were locked in onto their favorite television show or movie. Pretty savvy move by the parents. And I'm sure our parents wished they had iPads to shut us up when we were younger. probably even now. I just thought to myself, this is what the world has come to. Bring your own TV to dinner to keep kids from getting fussy. We all have different things that seem to irk us. What might bug me could amuse you to great lengths or drive your day-to-day activities. I am happy to have gotten the opportunity to vent some of my pet peeves to you. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.
Sorry.
You could just hand the audience again.